the things that we've spoken about and read about in this Bible to the world is going to be declared that we're the true prophets of the Lord.
That's right.
Give me that in Ezekiel now. You know what I want. Ezekiel 2, verse 4.
Right, this is the book of Ezekiel chapter 2, verse 4, and it says, "For they are impudent children and stiff-hearted. I do send thee unto them, and thou shalt say unto them, Thus saith the Lord power."
You go.
And it says, I'll read it again, verse 4. "For they are impudent children and stiff-hearted. I do send thee unto them, and thou shalt say unto them, Thus saith the Lord power. And they, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear, for they are rebellious, and for they are a rebellious house, yet shall know that they have been a prophet among them."
Right, so they're going to know that a prophet have been among them when these things come and fall into fruition. The prophecies that we've been speaking about for years. All right, the number one prophecy that we push in Great Millstone is the mark of the beast, the RFID microchip, which is already out in the midst. People are already taking trips. The destruction of America, martial law being declared. All right,
let him go, man. Let him go.
All right, and many other things that we speak about. That's written in this book. We bring these things to the forefront, and then now the majority, even those that claim to be in this truth, they have no excuse. All right, they have no excuse as to why they cannot repent, because the word is already out in the midst and being declared. Okay, so when it's all said and done, and the things that we've been spoken about, that we've been speaking about, comes in effect, then it's going to be known that we were right all along. All right, so let's read on.
And it says, "For thou, son of man, be not afraid of them, even be afraid of their words. Though briars and thorns be with thee, and thou dost dwell among scorpions, be not afraid of their words, nor be dismayed at their looks."
Right, so it says, "Be not dismayed or afraid of their words." As it says in the Apocrypha, it says, "Do not let the incredulity of them, okay, come before you, or come in the midst of you." Roughly paraphrasing. I'd say, well, read that again, and we're going to get that precept, man. Because I don't want to be roughly paraphrasing anything.
Alright, and in verse 6 and it says, "And thou, son of man, be not afraid of them, neither be afraid of their words. Though briars and thorns be with thee, and thou dost dwell among scorpions, be not afraid of their words, nor be dismayed at their looks."
Right, it says, "Be not afraid of their words, and be not dismayed at their looks." Because you got certain jakes, they got that threatening, frightening look, like they're going to do something. But if the Spirit of the Lord is on you, you're not going to be afraid of that joke. All right, and whoever comes up, tries to gainsay what we're teaching, or they want to get carnal, we're not supposed to be afraid of that. We're supposed to come out here and just deal with what comes our way, and just deal with the elements, and that's how you do it, all right? And that's why you have a lot of certain guys out there, I'm not going to say a lot, but you have a reasonable amount of men that don't want to come out and do the work, because they got to deal with all of this right here, okay? And it's a lot on the head as well. All right? But that just comes with it, man. If you're gonna be a man of the Lord, you gotta go through what comes your way. When you're stepping out on these highways and these streets. You're going, bro, read that.
It's all part of the training.
Exactly.
Oh, so like
Yeah.
Second Ezra 15 and 1, and it says, "Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy."
And that's a very good precept that you brought out. It says, "Speak unto my people the words of prophecy." So that's what we're supposed to be doing anyway. We're supposed to be bringing out the things that concerns prophecy. Because we're simply what? Prophets. Go on.
And it says, "Which I have put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faith and true. Fear not the imagination against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee."
Right, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee. What does the word incredulity mean? The word incredulity means unbelief. So don't let that trouble you. Don't let these words of Jake come around and pretty much cut into your mind and accept what they're saying as gospel truth, and there's no truth in what they're saying because it ain't backed up by the precepts. It ain't backed up by scripture. So whatever they're saying, if it doesn't hold true to scripture, we're not going to pay attention to it. Go on, brother.
And it says, fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. For all they are faithful shall die in their unfaithfulness.
Because ultimately the men and even the women that are speaking up against this truth, they're really unfaithful bastards. That's really what they are. And that's why they speak words against the word of the Lord. Give me that Revelation 21 and 8, because the unfaithful are going to die right along with the sorcerers, the sodomites, and all the
Jehovah says so. I am Jehovah. These guys are clowns in costumes. I don't know them.
That's just what you're about to say as well. Right, exactly. As soon as I said that, he came up.
He gave himself over, man.
I've seen him done it everything as well on the bus acting up.
Yeah, he's got spurs on that. That guy's got all kind of spurs on him, man. Go on, bro.
This is Revelation chapter 21, verse 8.
Yeah, I'm going to let you read because you just read it.
Verse 4, and it says, for all they are faithful shall die in their faithfulness. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, the famine, death, and destruction.
Right, and this all goes all the way back to what it said in Revelation 18. How the Lord is going to plague America with famines and mourning and death. And that's all going to go towards all of those bad negative things that the brother just read, as I've spoken of. That's all going to go towards those that are unbelievers. Now we're going to read the judgment exactly what the unbeliever is going to experience. Let's read that.
Revelation chapter 21, verse 8.
They're unbelievers too. There's a lot of unbelievers out there. Go on, brother.
And it says, but the fearful and unbelieving and abominable and murderers and whoremongers and sorcerers and idolaters and all liars shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death.
Which is the second death. So if you don't believe in what we're bringing to you, right? Because somehow, some way, it's gonna come from a circle that will ride any dog on. You're just gonna have to pay by being put to death somehow, some way. And the way most people are gonna die out here, because great death is coming. And the way great death is gonna come is by this nuclear war that's gonna take place. Alright? And those soldiers that get involved in this war, yeah, they're gonna die, alright, but also the regular civilians in each and every country is gonna die, alright? Alright, so you may have a couple of geezers out there making fun of us and all of that stuff, but what is that? What is that going to amount to? That's not going to amount to anything.
Which tribe would I join?
You know? All of this scoffing that people are doing, or them doing it for years, what is that going to amount to? That's really going to amount to them being put to death. And then it's going to amount to us being saved. So it looks like we're losing right now in the stands, but we're actually really winning in all reality. Okay? Because there's going to be more people that's going to be put to death than that are going to be delivered. We're going to get that in the precept as well. Alright? Yeah, so I'm done with that, yeah, brother. Give me second interest. I believe it's the same chapter actually. Where it says there be many that won't go into death. Then be saved. Second interest not. But you got these Christian churches, they've been teaching for years that God is all love and God is going to save all mankind and all of this other stuff. That's not going to take place. What's going to happen is the 144,000 and including the 1/3, they're going to be sealed with this wisdom understanding, and therefore they're going to be saved. But the other, the other 66.4% of the population, right, they're going to be destroyed.
That's right.
All right, billions of people are going to die ultimately when this happens. You got it. It says there be many, more than that perish. So that's what's going to take place, man. So what we're teaching It's what's gonna deliver the souls of our people. Now, if you're a part of the elect, then you would have to obtain this truth and then be saved. It's only the elect that are going to be saved.
Where is it you're from?
Oh, I was wondering because I didn't fit into any of these. If there's still a place.
Where you from?
From Devon in southwest England.
All right. I mean, I'm going to say this right now. The only thing I can say to you is you better hope that your line goes back to these people on the side. That's all I can say. You know what I mean?
Are you of anything? Irish descent, Scottish descent? Scottish descent. Yeah, that red beard, didn't you?
That's it, yeah.
So you may have a chance. You may have a chance because a lot of the Scottish goes back to the Moors, I believe, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Not the Moors. I don't think it was the Moors, but a lot of Jakes, a lot of our people ruled in the Dark Ages.
If there isn't a chance, is there any point in trying? Well, if there's no chance, then
There's no point.
There's no point.
There's no point.
The Scots, they're mixed. Judah, Benjamin, and Levi.
Yeah.
A lot of the Scots, they come from those people in the tribe there, man. They spawned from black people that were here in Scotland before so-called white people came and took over. So a lot of the Irish, a lot of the Scots, they come, their lineage goes back to those people there.
Yeah.
Negroes, the ones in America, West Indies, Haitians, the Caribbean islands, and so on and so forth. So a lot, it's the same seed. So if your line goes back to any of those, then you might be of any of those.
Okay.
Then you might be of any of those. Sorry?
Well, Scotland's black.
Yeah, Scotland's black. Scotia.
Right.
It's the Latin of
You're
Scotia.
Scotian, yeah.
It means black. Land of the blacks. Scotland, land of the blacks. So if your line goes back to any of those people, then you might be one of us.
Yeah, pretty much. But you know what though? But I'm gonna also be truthful as well because you got our people.
Yeah.
You know that hear what we're saying, but they don't take heed. So if you're not of the elect, I mean, you could be an Israelite. If you're of the chosen nation, you're good. But if you're not of the elect, you're still going to be destroyed because a lot of our people, you know, they're pretty much busy. Whoever they may be, they may look like you, or they may look like us brothers here. But a lot of them are going to be put to death because they don't want to listen. They don't want to take heed to the word of the Lord. All right, but the main thing that you want to be an Israelite for one, and you want to be a part of the elect. That's going to be delivered. That's all I can say from there. Because a lot of our people are going to die, man. Whoever they may be, whoever they may be, and whoever they may look like, they all going to die.
That's right.
And that's a harsh thing that I told him. That's why he had to walk away. Because that's a hard pill to swallow. Yeah, read what you got, bro, if you found it.
2nd Ezra 9:14, and it says, Then answered I and said, I have said before, and now do I speak. I will speak it also hereafter, that there be many more of them which perish
Right, it says
than of them which shall be
more of
saved.
them which perish than them that be saved. So you're going to have a lot of souls that are going to die than them that are going to be saved. And it just goes to show you the magnitude of what we're involved in, the seriousness of what we're involved in. Because I mean, every soul that you see walking around passing us, they're going to die.
That's right.
But the men that's actually standing here for the word of the Lord's sake are going to remain. And that should be enough to put fear in your hearts, man, in your brother's hearts. What you saying, bro?
I said, that's a cute.
Yeah, the cute.
Yeah. Scotland, they wear a kilt. When they're at Scotland is playing or at weddings, instead of a suit, a three-piece suit, they wear a kilt.
Right. Yeah, so that's just the bottom line, man. Like I said, going back to the point of the matter,
Haiti,
there's gonna be more people that's
My
gonna die than it's
people.
gonna be saved. So let's read that again, brother.
Are you not the type to think and not think, know that Jesus is black?
Yeah, we know that. We know that.
I call him Nabi Isa. Nabi
Right.
Isa.
Right.
It's my prophet. Does that make sense? Respect or no
But you know what
respect.
though, you two are in the spirit of folly. Enjoy yourselves. We got something serious to teach on. Go on. bro.
Nah, hey babes, I went to mosque
The
since I was
let's
knee
read.
high. Knee high.
Let's read it.
You can't tell me
This is
right
all
from
folly. She's coming with
Alright,
folly.
let me tell you,
Come on, bro, let's read
Jesus
that.
was black. I will say Jesus was
Okay, we
black.
can agree on that. We can agree on that.
I
But
said
where we
Jesus.
disagree is that your mind is somewhere else. All right.
I done night
Go on, bro.
shift, babes. I done a night shift.
2nd
I done-
Ezra 9
I done 5.
14,
I'm
and
not-
it says,
I done a 5.
Then answered I and said, I have said before, and now do I speak, and I will speak it also hereafter, that there be many more of them which perish than of them which shall be saved.
Right, and they're all gonna die, man. And the reason why she's acting like that because she's probably drunk up a damn head. And she don't even know what's going on.
Drunk and high, man.
Drunk and high at the same time, man. And I'm supposed to talk to that. I ain't gonna talk to nobody like that.
Yeah.
And them Cushites, man, they come here and they really want to get influence in this British world, man.
They go to work. They're the worst ones. They go mad.
They do it excessively.
Yeah, that's right. Because they made up. They was restrained, weren't they? They was held back. So when they come over in their own country, a lot of them Afghanistan people, they get whole heap of circumcision. What they call it, vagina mutilation, so they can't have sex when they're younger. So when they get older, they just go, and they get over here, they go mad.
They go berserk. And you know too, in a lot of these countries are Muslim-based countries too. And it just goes to show you the hypocriticalness in that religion as well. They don't believe in no crap, man. They don't believe in no Islam. Because if they truly believed in Islam, they would stay where they at and rehearse what they would call their righteous acts. They're not doing that. They're over here getting drunk, getting high, and coming around talking to random men who they don't even know. All right, and I can assure you, she's a damn Muslim, man. Anyway,
what she did say, she was in the mosque. She said it before. That's the Babylon Jews. That all nations are drunk, man. Basically, they're looking at America's ways, and they're living their customs.
That goes back to the point.
They're living their customs, and they basically now. They're following after the American way. Everybody, you can be what you want, do what thou wilt. Dress how you wanna dress and act how you wanna act. Date who you wanna date.
Talk down to men, because that's the spirit she came in. She wanna come and talk down to men. Talk down to you, because she's used to that.
But if you notice, right, she wasn't getting nowhere. That's why she walked away. Because I wasn't dealing with that kind of spirit. But yeah, I mean, and it just goes to show you that even though you got these Muslim countries, they don't live in a democracy, but yet and still they're so influenced by America. Still showing you the great power of America and how America has altered the minds of the people, even in non-democracy countries. That's why that broad came up here, acting the way she was acting, getting all seduced into this British culture, man, getting drunk, getting high at the same time. It's all folliness, man.
She'd have done that. I'm guessing she's from Somalia.
Yeah, she would have been stoned, man.
Because they can't drink alcohol. They're not allowed to, especially on the streets. You can't walk down the road with drinking alcohol and everything there. They stone you.
And that's just the thing, because see, people find it cool to just be a bunch of animals. Get drunk, get pissy high, put all kind of chemicals inside your body, and it's cool. But not realizing as they get older, they're destroying their insides. They're actually killing themselves slowly, man. See, that's how the devil is deceived the mass of the people. Participate in things that's going to destroy
religious you guys?
rather than do things that's going to benefit you.
Excuse me, which religious you are? Which religious you are?
We're the Hebrew Israelites.
Jewish?
The real Jews, yeah.
Jewish, huh?
I mean, we don't say that we're Jewish, but we're the real Jews, like the Bible talks about. Anyway, yeah, brother, continue what you had.
That was it on that.
All right, yeah, so, where was we reading before? Yeah, brother, you was reading.
Yeah, Revelation 18.
You going, bro?
All the way back to Revelation 18, verse 20. And it says, rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for the Most High hath avenged you on her. And a mighty angel took up a stone, like a great millstone, and cast it into the sea, saying, thus with violence shall the great city Babylon be thrown down.
Right, and that's exactly what we keep talking about, time in and time out. We talk about the violence that was done to formulate America in the first place, and because of the violence that was formulated in the first place, now violence is going to be brought back to it. All right? Their blood is going to be shed. So when you start something a certain way, that's how it's going to end. Whatever man sowed, that shall he also reap. Okay? So America sowed all kind of violence and destruction to the earth by influencing people at the same time by doing that, which is the wrong thing. So therefore, what are they going to get back in return? Let's read on.
And it says, thus with violence shall the great city Babylon be thrown down.
It says, thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown thrown down. And why is it a great city? Because it's one of a global power, a superpower. Okay, and it has a powerful influence of the world. It influences of the world very powerfully. Go on, brother.
And shall be found no more at all.
It should be found no more at all. It's going to be a desert, a 5,000 square mile worth of land of desert. That's where it's all going to end up. That's why when you read the articles, you'll find out that China is going through trade issues with America and the likes, and other issues, other global issues. When it comes to Russia, when it comes to Iran, okay? So all of these global problems that these nations are experiencing is all going to lead to this particular point in time. This prophecy to take place. And it all goes back because of what the nations did unto Zion. When you read in the book of Joel, the 3rd chapter, read on.
And it says, and the voice of harpers and musicians,
right,
and of pipers and trumpeters shall be heard no more,
so
and all indeed.
So it says the voice of harpers and pipers. Yeah, so read that again.
And it says, and the voice of harpers and musicians and of pipers and trumpeters shall be heard no more, and all indeed.
Yeah, but should be no more heard in thee. And you have a lot of talent. And I've come to realize, right, the raw talent is in America. There's nothing but talent in America. Okay, you have celebrities of all sorts that's been promoting their music throughout the airways, whether it's them using MTV or BET or any form of engine that they use to promote their music, to get out there to the world. All right, most of the artists that people know around the world comes from America. But we're not going to hear about these musicians anymore, because why? America's going to be a no man's land. It's going to be a desert. It's going to be destroyed by those nuclear missiles. As of what we've been preaching for going on 50 years now, or going over 50 years now. Now we see it happen. Go on, brother. Now that's prophecy for your eyes.
And it says, and no craftsman or whatsoever craft he be shall be found any more in thee, and the sound of a millstone shall be heard.
In other words, there's not going to be no labor found in that land. Go on.
No more at all in thee. And the light of a candle shall shine no more at all in thee.
Yeah.
And the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard no more at all in
You're not
thee.
going to find no soul, two souls getting married together and singing songs and get married. Because there's not going to be nothing there. There's not going to be no man there. There's going to be things there, but the things that are going to be there are animals. Desert-like creatures. That's what's going to be happening in America today. Go on, brother.
And it says, for thy merchants were the great men of the earth.
And meanwhile, this is post-destruction. This is post-World War III. So what John the Revelator is speaking about is what's going to happen after America's destroyed. Okay, and also Isaiah spoke about things post-World War III. Go on, brother, let's read that.
For thy merchants were the great men of the earth, for by thy sorceries were all nations deceived.
Right, they were bewitched by the media. That's how the media gets people. It's by casting sorcery spells on the people. That's why people are much more demonic than ever before.
Yeah.
Okay, because they've been taking heed, or their brain has been eating up what the media's been showing them. The media's cast spells upon their minds. Go on, brother. That's why you have your average woman out here, they don't mind being a whore, sleeping around from man to man to man to man, and then dealing with you, here is you the 40th guy, and you're supposed to treat her like she's a precious queen or a virgin. Okay, and then you got these dudes out here, they're committing adultery all over the place, man, getting drunk, and just being irresponsible, man. Why? Because of that spell that they're under. Go on, brother. They're under that doing style world spirit. The Allah's the crow this week. Oh, brother.
And it says, and in her was found the blood of prophets and of saints and of all that was slain upon the earth. That's the final verse.
Right, so it says,
and it says, verse 24, and it says, and in her was found the blood of prophets.
Right, so it says, in her was found the blood of the prophets, because you're going to have brothers that are in America today that are going to have to give up their life for this work, for the word of Yahweh Shai, whom the world calls Jesus Christ. So you're going to have brothers that are going to be martyrs, okay? And then after that's all said and done, then the final judgment is going to come down. The great judgment is going to come down. Okay? Go on, brother. And then Yahweh Shah is going to make his appearance in the midst of all of the drama that's getting ready to take place. Like people speak about the second coming of the Lord, right? They have no clue what the second coming of the Lord entails. And it's not going to be a good day. It's not going to be a day where people get together and they holding hands and one's eating a lolly ice, one's eating strawberries and grapes and all kind of nonsense. It's going to be a day of darkness, man. A day of despair. Go on, bro.
And in her was found the blood of the prophets and of the saints and of all that was slain upon the earth.
Right, all that was slain upon the earth. Because there's a lot of bodies in America that was put to death. You had a lot of lynches that was taking place. You had a lot of native Indians that were slaughtered in those lands. All right, and the final nail in the coffin is going to be that the bloods, should I say the prophets or the saints' bloods are going to be upon that land.
That's right.
Due to certain brothers being martyrs. Like for example, the Apostle Paul was a martyr. John was a martyr. Stephen was a martyr. Matthew was a martyr. So all of the great men that worship the Lord, they died. They pretty much died for what they believed. Yahweh Shah, who the world called Jesus Christ, he was a martyr to bring back, to restore the whole house of Israel, so that we can stand on these streets today and proclaim the word of the Lord and bring back the nation of Israel. Which the nation of Israel is the so-called Negroes, so-called Latinos and Native American Indians. So if Yahweh Shah didn't die on the cross, then the nation would be restored, because the Lord intention all along was to have the nation of Israel rule above everybody else. All right. So let's read that. So right now we're in our final captivity. This is the final captivity of the Jews, the Israelites. Okay, and then after this captivity is all said and done, because we're in captivity, the Israelites are in captivity. So when this society is destroyed, there's going to be another empire that's going to come after this one, and that's going to be the kingdom of heaven.
That's right.
All right, which is going to be rear-ended by us. We're going to be the next rulers of the next world, the next governors of the next world. Go on, brother. That's what this whole thing is about. That's why you have all of this shit going on in the world today, because it's all going to lead up to the incoming of Jacob's rulership. Go on, brother. Huh? Yeah, what did I call for, man? I forgot. I'll tell you what you can get. Get me 2nd Ezra 16. I mean, not 16, 6. 2nd Ezra 16. Yeah. Because that's the end all be all. The end all be all is this world here is going to receive this kind of judgment. And also, when that's all said and done, then the new world is going to come in. Another world is going to come in. All right? And we're going to read about it in the Esdras, the book of Esdras. Which Esdras was a prophet himself.
6.
Yeah, 6. And read start from verse 54, to be exact.
2nd Ezra 6 and 54, and it says, and after these Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all. And the people also,
What I want you to get is, what is it? So it's the end of the world, Jacob.
2nd Ezra 6 and 7, and it says, then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the time?
Right, so Ezra was inquiring to the Lord, what shall be the part or the sons of time? Let's
It says, what shall be the parting asunder of the time,
right,
or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of that followeth?
Yeah.
And it says, and he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held fast the heel of Esau,
Which signified Jacob bringing down Esau. Like when they were fighting in the womb, that's exactly what went down. You had Jacob was holding the heel of Esau, trying to pull him down so that he can get up in there first, come out of the womb first. Because there was an unusual thing happening inside of Rebecca's womb. All right, and they were fighting and all of that stuff, and we're still fighting to this very moment in time. That's why Esau, he's performing his sorcery and his witchcraft against us, and we're performing our righteous sorcery and witchcraft against them.
Sure.
That's why it says our fight is not fleshly, but it's more of a spiritual fight. That's in the New Testament, as we want to get later on going, brother. So we're actually battling Esau, even to this very moment.
And it says, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
Right, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So we're at that point where Jacob's world is going to erupt, and we're in the stages of that already, because if you look at all of the brothers standing before you on YouTube, whoever they may be and wherever they may be at, that's the kingdom that's being situated, formulated, structured. But then it's going to come a time where the kingdom is going to be made manifest and also seen on the face of the earth in its physical realm. And as we're teaching, this society is declining little and little on a gradual scale.
Right.
All right? Simply put. So yeah, since we're done with that, now what we're going to go into is Matthew 24 now. There's also, the disciples also inquired of the last days to Yahushua. And Yahushua told them what was going to take place in the last days. So we're going to read that. Give me the first verse though.
Matthew 24,
Yeah.
Right, this is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, from verse 1. And Yahushua went out and departed from the temple, and the disciples came to him for to shew him the buildings of the temple.
Right.
And Yahushua said unto them, see ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. And he sat upon the Mount of Olives, and the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming, and for the end of the world? And Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am the Mashiach, and shall deceive many.
And that's exactly what happened now. 600 years after the death of Yahushua, who came upon the scene? Prophet Muhammad came upon the scene. And before him, you had the Nicene Council that was set up by Constantinople. And this is where Christianity comes from, the ideology of Christianity, which goes all the way back to the founding fathers of the Nicene Council. And what they did was they put a spin on what was being taught 2,000 years ago by the Apostle Paul and also Yahushua. So then, 280 plus some odd years later, now you have the Quran that comes out, stemming all the way back to the Roman Catholic institution. So you had all of these different dogmas and religions that came after the death of Yahushua, prophecy. Okay, go on, brother. So you're gonna have, what is it? Because the word false Christ means false anointed ones. You're gonna have, in other words, false prophets. Go on.
And it says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places.